In a world that's facing constant disruption, the supply chain has become incredibly complex and fragile. Manufacturers have to respond and adapt quickly in order to ensure their survival. I'm joined now by Gregory Belt to talk more about manufacturers and how they can respond to disruption, regain control of their supply chain, and build much needed resilience. Gregory, thank you for joining us. Let me start off by asking you, how can manufacturers overcome the current problems in the supply chain?
Well, there's a lot of things they can do. We see things that they do that have nothing to do with IT, for one. The supply chain in general, a lot of people have said it was over optimized for just in time. So we're seeing people onshoring key suppliers, maybe multi sourcing, and certainly IT can help there. If we restrict what we're talking about to how IT can help, start investing in getting the digital core ERP right for starters. Core ERP, it's designed to do certain things very well, but a lot of the supply chain falls outside of what that core ERP does. So creating a composable ERP strategy that allows sharing of information that's outside of the ERP with ERP, is a great first step, right? You need to shift from keeping the business running to optimizing that core, right? To provide the new capabilities at speed and provide end-to-end visibility in the supply chain. There's a lot of friction that happens in the supply chain, and there are new technologies out there that can be merged with ERP to remove a lot of the friction from the end-to-end supply chain.
So how can manufacturers then tackle the sort of lack of visibility in the supply chain?
Yeah. In addition to friction, there's lack of transparency. One of the most popular things we're seeing now, and a lot of adoption and interest in, is distributed ledger technology, or blockchain is probably the most well-known manifestation of that. It's a great complement to your composable ERP core. It helps increase the transparency and at the same time decreases a lot of the friction in the network. In manufacturing, say of food manufacturing or pharmaceutical manufacturing, DLT can improve the traceability, the reliability. Where everything has been, as it moves along that supply chain. And it also helps reduce friction. In these global supply chains, you have to cross borders, go on a cargo ship, you change different modes of transportation. And so the blockchain technology can reduce the friction as products travel along that global supply chain. So increases reliability and trust, traceability, reduces friction. It's a great new technology to help overcome the lack of visibility in that supply chain.
You talked about both pharmaceutical and food industry. So what advice would you give those organizations? How can Fujitsu help?
First and foremost, solidify that ERP core, make sure you've got it right, so that you can more easily adopt some of these newer technologies. In addition to firming up that core, take a blockchain assessment. Fujitsu has a blockchain innovation center. You can see what we've done with food manufacturers like the Rice Exchange, or things we've done for Anheuser-Busch along this line to provide more visibility and reliability in the supply chain. So a digital core assessment and a blockchain assessment with our innovation center would be great first steps for how we could help organizations.
Great advice. Great. Gregory, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.